talk to, every assistant principal, every superintendent, every teacher, every student, everyone I talk to, when we talk about increasing student performance, we talk about increasing graduation rates for young men of color, why is that important to you? So as you're listening to this video right now, as you're listening to this lecture, do me a favor. I want you to take some time, take 20 to 30 seconds really quickly. What is your why? Why did you get an education? Why are you still the principal of the building? Why are you the assistant principal? Why are you the teacher? Why are you in school right now, young man? Young lady, why are you here? What is your why? Oh, that pause is really giving you an opportunity to take this time and write your why down. And then we'll talk about the significance of knowing your why. It's important to know your why. And you might hear it on YouTube and you might hear it all over. People say, well, know your why, know your why, know your why. But you need to know the significance of your why. I'll tell you mine. Here's my why. I had two best friends that I grew up with. Man, my guy Ty and Steve, those are my boys. I mean, we were in Hollywood, Florida, South Florida. Shout out to South Florida, whoop, whoop. I grew up born in Carol City, Miami, and then my mom moved us to Broward County, so I've been all the way from Carol City all the way up to Deerfield Beach High School, where I eventually graduated from. But I had two best friends, and me and my guys, we would do everything together. We had sleepovers together. We played basketball together. We used to walk about a mile. We'd gather any little money we'll have up, walk a mile to Checkers. I'm giving Checkers some free publicity. Had $1.05, and we would get a Checker burger and a cup of water and walk all the way back home. And in that walk, we would talk about, what we want to do when we grew up. And they want to be basketball players and football players. And these boys were great athletes, great thinkers, phenomenal young men. We went to the same elementary school. We went to the same middle school. We taught the girls together, went to the movies together. We shared everything. In high school, we went our separate ways. I went to a high school that said, right when I walked on the campus, they saw my size, 6'4", 265 pounds, and they said, young man, you're going to play Division I football. My coach told me that right when I got on the campus. You will play Division I football. And everything I did at that school was geared to playing Division I football. Everything I did was, I'm going to go play football at the next level. Consequently, I graduated high school at about a 3.0, and I went to the University of Buffalo. Shout out to the Bulls, horns up. Unfortunately, my homeboy Ty and Steve, they went to two different schools. They went to a school that had a discipline first mentality. You know the school, the zero tolerance schools? If you mess up, you get kicked out so you can learn your lesson. And Ty and Steve, they found themselves suspended constantly from school. As a result, they disengaged from the educational process. They didn't want to be in a school that didn't value them or appreciate them. And even though they played sports, they were smaller, so nobody thought that they were going to go play at the next level. So they told them, if you get in trouble, you get kicked out. As a result of being in the streets and getting kicked out often, they found themselves in unsavory behavior. I went off to college. By the age of 25, both of my best friends were dead and gone. That's my why. Before I got any degrees, before I got an education, I knew experientially that if young black men do not earn a high school diploma, they will end up in jail or dead. And that why has been the fire and the passion that has caused me to do all the work that I'm doing now. To let educators know it is possible. It's possible for young men to graduate at 80, 90, and 100%. It's possible to have high graduation rates. It is possible, and it can happen. And not only can it happen and it's possible, they deserve it. Sometimes educators we don't get the kudos we deserve. We don't get the pat on the back we deserve. We don't get the salaries that we deserve. We don't get anybody saying, we praise our athletes, but we don't praise our teachers and our principals the same way. But it should be. It should be so, because what we do in the classroom, what we do in the school, changes and forever has an impact on young people's lives, and it's life-saving work. It's God's work. The work we're doing inside the classroom and the building, it changes lives forever. Every person you hear, they have a story about, you hear all these successful rappers and entertainers, and they always have a story. Even Steve Harvey said, he had a story, and I'll paraphrase his story, but it was like, I had a bad stutter. This is what he said. He had a bad stutter, and he told his teacher that he wanted to be on television. And the teacher basically mocked him and laughed at him and said, you couldn't be on television. And he said, as he became a big-time movie star that he is, and a big-time actor and entertainer that he is, he would send a television home to this teacher every year to remind her what she said to him. Right? Her words impacted him so much that it made a scar on the inside of him psychologically. So anybody who tells you teachers and educators don't matter, they don't know. Anybody who has these notions that if you can't, you teach, they don't know. They don't know the work we put in and the sweat equity and all the things we do to make sure that our students will be successful. And that's the work you do. But you got to have your why. You got to know why you're in it. We can't let unions and contracts and paper in the computer lab and all of these petty little things cause us to be hamstringed and not do the work that we said we were created to do. We can't let fatigue and politics and online classes and all of these different things stop us from doing the work that we are called to do, because this work is so important. And if my friends had teachers like you that's taking time to listen to this video, that cared enough about their kids, principals like you, superintendents like you, they would still be alive today. So don't ever think that your work is not important. Never think that you're not valuable as an educator. Never think that you're not special, because you are. So, key driver to work, you must know your why. Second thing, this is for principals, assistant principals, deans, superintendents, all the way down. And we're going to go with it. You have to understand your data. Your data needs to be clear, it needs to be comprehensive, and it needs... Listen, thank you for taking time to listen to this entire message. It was a 4-part series on understanding your why and knowing data and how to increase graduation rates for young men of color, and how do you turn around your school from a poor performing school to a high performing school. If you want to purchase the entire series, please inbox me. And if you want to be a part of our 10-week leadership course, inbox me, let me know. We would love to work with your district. And or if you just want me to work one-on-one with you on how to specifically help your school be successful, I am here. Whatever your needs are, whatever you need, do not hesitate in reaching out. Thank you for spending this time with me. Again, from Dr. Mark Abraham. Love you. Bye.